Alright, let's get this show on the road. We are here for Wednesday, the usual black white. Oh god, the echo. Did not mute myself. Anyway, we're here for black white Eldrazi taxes Wednesday. Almost always the deck that we relatively consistently are playing. We've kind of gotten into the groove of things at this point in the stream in terms of what decks I play on what days. I'm still kind of messing around with Lingering Souls builds. I think I've only played it like 2 or 3 times on stream, since I don't get that many chances to run this deck through leagues at this point, since I'm playing like such a wide variety of Taxes decks across formats and stuff. I'm still kind of into it. I'm definitely down to keep trying it out. I did consider like putting the 4th Thalia in the sideboard at some point. I don't know what I would cut. But I do really like the 4th Thalia, especially if more people are on stuff like eggs right now. Although we do have 3 Stonies and a Relic Order, but we don't have any rips, which is a little dangerous. Could maybe cut like a Settle the Wreckage for a rip, or for a 4th Thalia or something, or maybe Orzhov Pontiff. So in the grinding matchup, against like Jeskai, say, we have the 4th Souls, a Gideon, and a Gonti. That's it, basically. Cut, shave down on like paths, and I mean, I guess we're pretty good. We're pretty well set up against Jeskai. Because something like Jund, we have Gideon, Souls, Fatal Push. Oh, yeah, Bitter Blossom too. Bitter Blossom, Gonti. Yeah, I kind of want the 4th Thalia, but I don't know. I don't know what I want it for. Like, what I would put in the sideboard in replacement, or what I would cut. It's probably either the Gideon, the Settle the Wreckage, or the Pontiff. Oh shit, good deck. We don't play good decks on this channel all the time. Haven't you learned that by now? I think we'll just run it back for another league before I make any bigger decisions. Let's play some black-white Eldrazi taxes. Maybe they'll print Stoneforge, and I can just like cut Leonin Arbor from this deck. I'm definitely interested in trying out the 2-drop Spirit in this deck. I'm on the train platform. It's a bug in here. Hopefully it doesn't bother me too much. I say as it immediately starts bothering me a shit ton. Coming out of a cocktail party. Nice, nice, nice. Sounds fun. Feels like we're bringing only 25. That's how I feel. I guess, yeah, I guess I feel a little bit better. I don't know about you, but like in my place of employment, at least there are a couple other coworkers that are like maybe a year or 2 older than me. So when I go to social gatherings at work and stuff, it can feel a little awkward. But some people are on the same age as me. I understand it's fine. We have Vile, Scholar, Souls and stuff. Should I buy Stoneforge Mystic Swords and shit just in case? July 2nd. July 2nd is soon. I don't know how much Stoneforges are right now. Swords aren't gonna like spike up. Swords are still pretty expensive regardless, right? Did they move the F6 indicator from used to be on your thing, and now it's like down here? Interesting. Oh, we're playing against Titan Shift. This hand is not very good against Titan Shift. Yeah, I'd have to look into how much expensive TCG players Stoneforge Mystic. Stoneforges are 20? When did that happen? Jesus. I remember when the GP promos were like $10 because everyone was... Yeah, the poverty promos. I play the poverty promos, but that's because I play I have the promo taxes gimmick for my deck. So second Aether Vial is kind of bad. This whole hand's kind of bad. I don't think we're going to win this game unless we draw pretty well here. Could at least Tide Hollow my opponent and then hope. Opponent has Wood Elves, Scapeshift, Primeval Titan. And a 4th land that's going to come in tapped. So if I take the Scapeshift or the Prime Time, this room for growth, and I should find my Stoneforged Swords and be disappointed in a few weeks. I mean, I think that's definitely a realistic scenario. Is you're just gonna be disappointed in a few weeks. Price has not been trending up. I imagine it's obviously gonna like shoot through the roof if it gets unbanned because people will just be really hyped about it. It's between Primetime and Wood Elves. I think it might be Wood Elves just to try and buy ourselves the time, but we're never gonna beat this Primetime. We're likely not gonna beat a Scapeshift either. Is the issue? Unless we can like trip them up with a Flicker Wisp. And they probably get a Wrath my board though. Probably just Wood Elves and hope. We can always like flicker this Tide Hollow Scholar to take the Primeval Titan later as well. Let's draw like another Tide Hollow. Alright, not what I really wanted. Fire and Ice, War and Peace. Yeah, definitely Fire and Ice and War and Peace come to mind. Fire and Ice might not be like as good. Like, it's obviously the best effect. But yeah, I was thinking Feast of Famine might be like more relevant protections. I think War and Peace is really good because obviously against stuff like Jeskai, it's nuts because it's a Pro Bolt, Pro Path. You definitely want some Pro Black Sword against like the Fatal Push decks. Honestly, Light and Shadow might not be too bad. Basically all the swords besides Body and Mind. I guess we guess Lingering Souls because I kind of want to save these Flicker Wisps. To try to trip them up with these vials to hold them off of lands. Since they can't primetime me next turn. Ooh, do they not have... Are they just like drawing garbage? This is great for me if they can't find anything. We can Strangler to get rid of this Wood Elves as well. I'd have to Strangler like my own Spirit, though. They draw a Bolt. So Feast, Famine, Light, Shadow, War and Peace. I'm torn on like because Fire and Ice's effect is so good, so it's definitely tempting to try it out. But the protections are pretty irrelevant in Modern. Like Fire and Ice picked up in Legacy like directly because of Churning Nemesis, because that card was impossible to beat if your opponent just had they played a Churning Nemesis, you could not attack through it. That's the reason that people started playing Fire and Ice, so the Pro Blue is a lot more relevant. In this format, the big popular cards are like Path Exile, Fatal Push, and Lightning Bolt, right? Those are the... And you're not really attacking through as many terrifying creatures, so I think... Yeah, I think War and Peace, Light and Shadow, Feast of Famine might be the best. Obviously, Fire and Ice is really good at grinding, draws you cards, can kill opponents' creatures and such. So it might be worth testing, but I wouldn't be surprised if it turns out that Fire and Ice is not what you want, at least as like Death and Taxes. What am I doing here? I'm at least going to play a Vial. I know that. Opponent's at 13, taking 4, 5, 6, 7. So they're 2-turn clock either way. I could Flicker Wisp this Tide Hall, but I don't really want to give them back their Wood Elves. I think we'll just pass the turn. I can't turn this into a one-turn clock. Yeah, that's where I'm going to start, at least in black-white. I'm literally just going to start with... Oh, I'm just going to slot in... Oh, I should have cast Lingering Souls. I'm dumb. So now my opponent has 5 lands, so... I don't want to flicker this now. I guess we just eat the Wood Elves anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Put them to 7. Marsh Flats and Fetid Heaths. I'm definitely interested in reworking the mana base without Arbiters. I don't own any Marsh Flats, I don't think. Or Fetid Heaths, for that matter. I think I would definitely like try to hold off and see what other people do, but that's because I'm not very good. I'm not a very good deck builder personally. Alright, so let's attack here. Then we're gonna main phase Flicker Wisp this Displacer. Or Flicker Wisp this Tide Hollow, sorry. So now I'll have 6, 7, 8, 9. Even if they kill a Wisp, I'll actually only have 6, but I have this other Wisp. So I don't think I want to flashback Souls in case they have, like, Anger of the Gods or something. So I think we can just pass. Well, that's kind of scary. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lands. I could just Flicker Wisp out a land and I just win, right? Unless they top deck Anger of the Gods, in which case I just get horribly bodied. Let's flicker out their Valakut. Please don't draw Anger of the Gods opponent. The Elder does not save them, they are dead. Alright, we got there. Whew. Yeah, they're just taking it. Sure thing. Yeah, I definitely need to find the time and try to, like, work out some Stoneforge lists. I'm really bad at deck building, like, in terms of mana-based construction and, like, finding the right curves and finding what equipment and stuff would be good in the format and such. That's not my wheelhouse, really. So I'm definitely gonna do a lot of, like, very bad experimenting with Texas builds. Lingering Souls actually hold equipment very well, so I'm kind of into Lingering Souls and Stoneforge in the same deck. Just, like, cut Arbiters, but then you're just, like, running out of cards to cut, right? You probably have to cut Lingering Souls since your deck list just gets so much tighter. You might be able to drop down to 22 lands again, because your deck's not as mana hungry, and you don't have as many mana problems. Why do I have any sideboard cards for this matchup? Do I like it? I think I brought in Zealous Persecution at one point, just because it anthems your team and lets you, like, punch through. It kills Sakura Tribe Elders, but like, Hmm. Hmm. I don't think any of my cards are particularly good here. If my opponent was on Colony Heart Expedition or something, I could bring in Relic Order, but I have no indication that Relic Order is going to be good against them. Paths are already pretty bad, though. I don't know. Maybe we just run it back? I'm not positive I have any cards that are, like, really good in this matchup. I think I'd like a Zealous over a Path, at least. Path is not super good in this matchup. Unless you can, like, snipe a Primeval Titan with, like, Vial and an Arbiter on top of it, and then untap Path it or something like that. Wasteland Strangler is decent because you can actually eat Search from Tomorrow's. I'll just run it, see what happens. Persecution can also save your 3 toughness creatures from lightning bolts and stuff. This hand's fine. Not great. We have, like, Scholar and a Strangler if we want to get rid of their card forever. We also have Thalia, which is good at slowing my opponent down in the early game. Less good on the draw, but I think this hand is pretty easy keep. Low Plains, leave my options open between Thalia, Scholar, or even Displacer. Unlikely it will be Displacer. It'll probably just be Thalia. I assume they have like a farce. Oh, they have nothing? Might be Scholar now, because this feels like a bolt to me. Yeah, I think I'm more down for Scholaring. Thalia just gets bolted here. If my opponent doesn't have a ramp spell on 1 or 2, I think they kept their hand based on interaction. So I think we'll just Scholar them, because they can't bolt in response. If they have 2 bolts, they have 2 bolts. It's whatever. Wow, that is a hand. The Ancient Grudge is actually super obnoxious here, because my stupid Scholar is an artifact. I think I have to, like, take Ancient Grudge to try and bait them into bolting it. Because they want to be mana efficient, right? If I take the bolt, they'll definitely Ancient Grudge my thing. But if I take the Ancient Grudge, they kind of want to bolt my thing, and then their Ancient Grudge has no targets. We'll see if this Gambit pays off. Get out of here, bug. Because they want to just cast Wood Elves next turn. Alright, so they don't want to... I guess they could Wood Elves into the bolt, right? If they can fetch basic... Can't fetch basic mountain, actually. But they could get a Stomping Ground, I guess, if they wanted to hold up bolt. Or just not hold up bolt and just Wood Elves into whatever. So this is the only choice that kept my Tidehollow alive this turn. If I had taken any other card in my opponent's hand, I think they would have just cast Ancient Grudge on my Tidehollow, based on how bad Ancient Grudge is in this matchup against me. It does, like, pretty few targets. But they've got double basic forest. So they are going to just grab, what's it called? Cinderglade with this Wood Elves to leave a bolt. So I think I want to just Strangler this Wood Elves. If my opponent tries to bolt this Tidehollow, I can just path it in response to ramp me, since this path isn't really doing anything else. I don't get to eat it, but they get their Ancient Grudge back, but their Ancient Grudge just has no targets. So that seems okay. Obviously, this game is not going super well for me. I could just play Lingering Souls. But Lingering Souls is also super slow. And my opponent has Anger of the Gods in their hand right now. I guess actually if I eat this Ancient Grudge, then they can just flashback the Ancient Grudge on my Scholar. Yeah, this was the hope, is that they would just fire off this Lightning Bolt in response. Oh, crap, I was supposed to path that. I wasn't thinking. Alright, not quite the hope, but... Now we got the bolt out of their hand, which is like half the battle. Obviously, I'm an idiot and was kind of supposed to path my own Scholar there, so I would have enough mana to, like, Thalia plus Displacer or something next turn. I'm putting just Bloodbraid Elves here. Cascades into Bolt. Oh, that's a bummer. Wait. No. Damn it. Another time I should have pathed my own guy, but I was 100% F6'd at that point. Sure. Let's draw a land, please. I think we're pretty dead here, though. Exile Search. I always get what I asked for, but I'm never specific enough. Yeah, I don't think we're winning this game. Opponent had a lot of interaction, made our early turn super awkward. Double Bolt Anger when we didn't have a particularly strong opener, and just being on the draw this match was pretty rough. At least my opponent can't attack me for however much that's worth. I have a 2/1 first striker, which is very good against my opponent's board. I don't know what my plan next turn is. It's kind of an okay plan. Just really sets them up to cast Anger of the Gods. I could just cast Lingering Souls. Just cast Displacer Leaf on Path Exile. Path Exile doesn't really do anything. I need to get them to fire off this. Alright, sure. I guess now we're just gonna kill the Bloodbraid. I could, like, path here, save the Thalia, but I have the second Thalia, so I really don't care. That's totally fine. Now we can play, like, Displacer plus Thalia to try and bait out this Anger of the Gods. Opponent's hand is just Anger plus Ancient Grudge right now. So this feels like a board they would want to Anger the Gods. Their Wood Elves doesn't matter. They're getting up to... They have 4 mountains. They need 2 more to start just manually Valakutting me. I need 1 more. Yeah, they're going to anger me here. 1 more mana for that. There we go. Ghost Quarter is pretty decent. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My opponent has enough lands to primetime through my Arbiter. I could just Souls plus Arbiter. I think that's the play here. Hope they don't. I could Ghost Quarter this Valakut. But my opponent's at 19 life. I need to get them dead, so I need to hope they whiff for a turn, but their deck is basically not whiffed at this point. Their whole deck is lands and search cards. Oh, that was technically a whiff. Opponent's last card in their hand is Ancient Grudge, so this Tidehauler doesn't do anything. I'm going to Ghost Quarter 1 of these Valakuts. Actually, that gives them a land. So it actually gives them a bolt if I Ghost Quarter 1. Unfortunately, they get 2 bolts if I don't Ghost Quarter it. Maybe I just make a big board. Tide Hollow, take their Ancient Grudge, or they Ancient Grudge it. Yeah, they just Ancient Grudge my Tide Hollow in response. Never mind. We'll sit on this. We will cast Souls. Not sure what I want to do with this Ghost Quarter. The issue is that as soon as they hit a land, we get double bolted. This is just Scape Shift. 8 mana. What's happening? Maybe it's prime time. My opponent. Yes, my opponent does not know how Leonin Arbiter works, it looks like. So, I mean, this resolves. Yep, opponent pass priority. They don't know how Leonin Arbiter works, so they're not going to get to search here. Leonin Arbiter strikes again on Moto. It's a very high percentage of people that just don't know how this card works on Moto. And they've also floated the extra 2 mana, so now I just get to Ghost Quarter them for free, and Path this for free, since they don't have 3 mana up. Suddenly there's a chance I win this game. Oh, well, they figured it out. They figured it out. They paid for it. But now I just get to Ghost Quarter them and Path them on my turn. Flicker Wisp. That doesn't do anything right here. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I actually Ghost Quarter one of their mountains to shut off these Valakuts for another turn. I'm attacking them for 6 here. And then I'm playing this Sculler, so I'll actually have 8. I'll have 10 in play. I'll have lethal next turn, so I could just actually just turn them off of any bolts by killing a mountain. Suddenly this game feels a little bit... My opponent only has like 1 more draw to win this game now, all of a sudden. Leonin Arbiter and Moto strikes again. Was 100% dead to rights that game. Would have had to, like, Ghost Quarter or Valakut, then Path it while everything was on the stack. Now we can Sculler this Ancient Grudge because they don't have any cards in their hand. Or they don't have the mana to take it. Punch. I don't have the mana to kill my Art Sculler here. So now they need to draw, like, Scapeshift or Prime Time. They just, like, draw Scapeshift and they kill me. Oh, Bloodbraid. Bloodbraid into Sakura. Does that let them live? Probably. Let's just draw... Wait, they're just gonna sack this Elder? Now they're dead. In paper, would you have let him pay there? Depends on how they did it. It's a little bit... It's complicated, especially it depends on the Ariel. Obviously, the F and M, like, it's like, okay, just make sure you pay for the Arbiter. Hang on, I need to figure out if they're dead first. No, they're gonna be at 1 if I flicker their Bloodbraid. That's annoying. I can't kill them here. They sacked the Elder. I think they just thought they had 6 mountains. Because Because they, like, immediately went and sacked that Elder. So, if I attack with everything, they can trade for this Arbiter. But the Arbiter doesn't actually do anything anymore. And they take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I could just Flicker Wisp it, and then hit them with everything. They get the Bloodbraid back. They don't get the Cascade trigger, because Cascade's on cast. Yeah, I think I'm just going to Flicker Wisp it. So yeah, there's definitely, like, some issues with passing priority and stuff in terms of figuring out how to understand your opponent's realizations about, like, Leonin Arbiter and stuff. It's kind of weird because you don't want to, like, or at least I personally don't want to feel like, you know, oh, I got him with this card. Like they're like crack fetch and they look at you. Oh, we gonna be dead anyway. Are they like scape shifting me here? Oh, prime time. Did they not do it? Oh, they did it this time. Okay, they still might be dead. I don't think they can get enough bolts here to, like, die. They're just gonna die to these spirit tokens. Yeah, I think they're dead anyway. Anyway, so it all depends on, like, your opponent's language. If they crack a fetch and then, like, look at you and, like, are acknowledging that they cracked this fetch land and, like, they're waiting for you to respond, that is them passing priority to you, and they have not paid the Arbiter tax. So if you pass it back, then you just say, oh, no, you can't search. You point your Arbiter. At competitive REL, obviously. At F&M, I like to make people aware. Yeah, this is only 12, 15 if they attack, and I have this Flicker to block anyway. Yeah, they're just dead. If my opponent there had just played Primeval Titan and reached for their deck or something, then I think the best way is just to call a judge. Because it's hard to tell when, because in Moto, it's obviously very explicit when players pass priority, but in paper, it's a very implicit thing, especially with stuff like, oh, play primetime, grab my deck. You're not gonna have any responses to this, right? So just the best avenue is just call a judge and say, my opponent cast Primeval Titan and grabbed their deck, and they had not paid for the Leonin Arbiter tax. Because you don't want to point to your Arbiter and they're like, oh, okay, pay for that. And they pay the 2 mana or whatever. It's a little complicated. Get him. Opponent is dead. We were dead to, like, only scape shift there, I think. Cool beans. Leonin Arbiter takes another victim. I do need to keep... I should have made a counter a long time ago. Like, just a tally of how many times my opponent has just not understood how Leonin Arbiter works in Moto and, like, demolished themselves. Alright, where's Titan Shift? Eight games, 4. Yeah, Titan Shift. According to my results, I'm 1 and 2 against. I've only played against 3 times, but I've taken them to 3 every time. The match is definitely, like, pretty tight. Half your cards just don't do enough. If you draw your right cards, then the matchup is very good. But if you don't, obviously, it's very bad. Did you play Batter Skull if Stoneforge gets unbanned or only swords? I would almost definitely play Batter Skull in Modern if it gets unbanned. Batter Skull is nuts. Batter Skull is just so strong. It helps you out against, like, Hollow One and humans, just because it's a Vigilance lifelinker. You can trade with a Hollow One and gain 4 life, and then you can, like, pick it up and put it back down by paying 5 total mana, or Flicker Wisping the Batter Skull to get the Germ back on it. It's also obviously insane against Burn. Burn is not going to be happy. Burn has to start playing a pile of Destructive Reveries or Shattering Sprees if Stoneforge gets unbanned, because a 4/4 Lifelinker is just lights out against Burn. Obviously, the Burn matchup's already just great with this deck, but it only gets better. This hand feels loose. Tap land. I don't even get Arbiter on 2. A bunch of 3-drops that I can't guaranteed cast. I am on the draw, but I think we get a better 6. Yeah, this feels like a better 6. I will top that, because I want a 3rd land here. The question is, what swords would I play? And that's definitely something that would need a lot of experimentation. My initial thoughts are that sort of War and Peace is very strong if you're gunning for, like, the Jeskai matchup, because you're suddenly pro-bolt, pro-path. I could also see something like Light and Shadow being pro-path, pro-push, or even, like, Feast and Famine. So we're going to lead with Concealed Courtyard in case I draw Tidehollow Scholar. I don't think it matters too much. If I play Eldrazi Temple, I can kind of mask what I'm on. But I can see most of the swords seeing play besides Body and Mind, obviously. Body and Mind's always kind of been the odd duck. Opponent appears to be on just blue-white. Could be on Jeskai. Opponent's Logic not up here. We're just going to jam a Thalia. I have a backup Thalia, so don't really care that much if they counter right here. I'm just going to opt. Deal. This is the best. It's tough. It's definitely interesting, because there's so much, like, all Death and Taxes decks would get a boost playing Sword, or playing Stoneforge with, like, swords and stuff. It's definitely an interesting thought experiment. I'm not sure what variant becomes, like, the best. I mean, obviously, there's no best variant even right now. Like, they both have their upsides and downsides. I think Mono White gets a little bit better because suddenly you have more tools against aggro decks with stuff like Batterskull. But also, Black White gets better at grinding because you have this huge value card in Stoneforge Mystic, so Mono White definitely plays that. I don't know what the Mono White deck list would need more tweaking than the Black White list would. I think the Black White would almost certainly just cut Leon Arbiter from the deck. It's consistently like the weakest card in the deck in a lot of matchups. So I could see just trying out no Arbiters, just 4 Stoneforges. In Mono White, it might need a little bit more retooling because Leon and Arbiter and Stoneforge do not play nice together, but Leon Arbiter is like more powerful in that deck. I want to play Arbiter, but then they're going to path my Thalia. I'm going to be sad because I don't get to search. I have a second Thalia. I don't really care if they get that much value on their path. It's fine. This being able to potentially shut down fetch lands is pretty nice. I'm just going to path this Thalia. Yep. Never lucky. They just like slam Jace. Okay. Nothing I really could have done about that. If I had played Flicker Wisp, they could have just pathed it. Oh no, then I would have Thalia in play right now. We're just gonna attack Jace, Aether Vial Thalia, it looks like. They have a, like, they could Snap Path here, that'd be kind of obnoxious. Ah, Terminus. So we're playing as Miracles. Good to know. This Jace is going to kind of run away with the game. We might just be dead. Similarly to playing against the Legacy Miracles, opponent has a Jace in play and I have no creatures on the board. We are likely dead. Opponent now has like 5 cards in hand. Don't really want to Scholar them. Could just cast a Flicker Wisp and do nothing. Don't really want to cast 2-drop. I want to be mana efficient about this. I'm going to play 1 Flicker Wisp this turn, and then the next turn I could probably go 2-2. think we just fire this off. Next turn we Arbiter plus Scholar or something. Logic not this? Sure. Okay. We're probably dead now. How many angels is this? 2? 3? That doesn't help me. Thanks, Moto. 3 angels. Cool. Thought opponent was just like not going to use their Jace for a second. We can kill 1 angel with Flicker Wisp. We can also Tide Hollow them. Probably Tide Hollow first, because I assume they have Path here. Ghost Quarter is not super helpful. I could Ghost Quarter this Colonnade technically, but... yeah, opponent has a Path. Opponent also has a D-Sphere. Kill an angel. We are definitely very, 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 very dead here. Opponent's activated Jace like 4 times and hasn't treated for 3 angels. I don't think this matchup's that bad, though. Opponent. Teferi. Okay. Seems pretty strong. Probably conceding now. It is plus. I can just leave. That seems aggressive. If they didn't draw a removal spell, they could just... I guess they might have Cryptic in hand or something, but if I have like another Wisp, I can just kill this Angel and kill their Teferi or their Jace. They could have drawn something, though. Arbiter, Arbiter. Could have technically killed Jace there by attacking with both, if my opponent didn't have a removal spell. But then they also just block the Tide Hollow, get their path back. I kill their Jace, and they get a path. They have Think Twice in their deck? Man, this deck is all in on the miracles. 3 Opt, Think Twice for more instant speed card drawing there. This is definitely a deck where I want to be playing around Terminus. Attention Sphere Arbiters, sure. They'd even feel to ruin this Ghost Quarter to protect their Colonnade. Deal. I will go to 5, opponent. Opponent has a lot of stuff. Yeah, they're gonna ruin the Ghost Quarter because they're trying to set up lethal. If I find an answer to their Angel, they'll still have second Angel plus Colonnade. Alright, we're gonna kill Jace, show him what's what before we die horribly. Oh no, we're not gonna be able to kill Jace! Wait, what are they targeting? They're just gonna opt. Alright, we're gonna pat the Snapcaster. Get out of here, Snap. I'm killing this Jace. I'm taking this Jace down with me, opponent. Take that. Come on. Yeah, don't have double path to exile opponent. Don't be that guy. Let the Jace die. Ha! Got him. Alright, we'll continue. Alright, so now we have all these super good grindy cards. We don't actually have, like, a ton. Opponent has Detention Sphere in their deck. I don't know if they have Spreading Seas. Let's see what's bad. Strangler, I think, is just horrible. You can only really combine it with Flicker Wisp to do well, and although Path is also pretty bad. You could maybe do something like that, leaving one Strangler. I don't know if my opponent has enough X1s for stuff like Zealous to be relevant. They might have, like, Vendilion clicks or something. All I know is they have Snaps, though. Angels are 4/4s, so Zealous doesn't really let me punch through them very well. Honestly, Fatal Push might be better than Path to Exile, right? Fatal Push still kills Colonnade and Angel Token, and doesn't give them a land. It doesn't exile the thing, but that shouldn't be super relevant. Yeah, I don't know what I'm expecting to play against, but if I have Paths in my deck, I think I'd just rather have Pushes in my deck. That seems about right. Obviously, I can't push my own guy to ramp into like Gideon or something, but I think I'd rather have Push to punch through Manlands and Angels and stuff. Of course, there's going to be something that happens that makes me regret this decision, but would I rather have Relic Order? I don't think so. I think we got to see more of the opponent's deck before we make more informed decisions about sideboarding. We saw like one Detention Sphere. There's no guarantee they have Spreading Seas. Aether Vial hands are really strong, but they're not this strong. I think we have to keep this, though. This hand is quite the bummer. We also have the one Strangler left in our deck, which is... We could technically pair with this Flicker Wisp at some point to eat a land or a Planeswalker. We already have a 2. I think we just want colored lands. Could technically Ghost Quarter myself to like cast the Thalia or something, but Temple of Enlightenment. Hope that's everyone's guess. I disagree highly. If they have like one answer to Aether Vial, I just immediately lose the game. Oh man, they're not gonna crack this fetch. Deal. Oh no, don't. Yes! Alright. So they either path my Arbiter, give me access to white mana, or I just get to eat this fetch land here. Come on, don't have a path. Can we go for maximum punish? Oh no, they have the path. I think I'm supposed to Ghost Quarter this Temple of Enlightenment, honestly. Yeah. We get a white mana. I almost want a black mana so I can cast the Strangler plus Wisp next turn. Maybe I do want a black mana. It helps me cast the Gonti. This Flicker Wisp is going to get vialed in, and like I'm nowhere near this Tide Hollow Scholar. I need a white or a black for this Tide Hollow Scholar anyway. Let's grab the Swamp. We can possibly set up another Stone Rain next turn. It's the same as the 6, except the 6 gets a Scry and also had multiple lands. Like, if I needed to, I could have Ghost Quartered myself to produce mana of colors. Having a 1-land hand that is also colorless, that also just has the Aether Vial, and also doesn't get a Scry for a 3rd land drop, is incredibly loose. Immediate punish for getting the Swamp here. Especially because I don't really... I could just... So... Yeah, I think I like just trying to eat their land. I'll just try to trade Wasteland Strangler with one of their lands. So we cast it first, so they're not going to Logic Knot it, or they might not at least. So we just put this on the stack. Yeah, immediately punished. So they might counter this just because it's a counterable thing. They're thinking about not logic nodding it. This is the bait, is that we do this first. See, now it resolves. And with the trigger on the stack, we activate this Aether Vial. Put in this Wisp. Wisp out their Hallowed Fountain. Now, if they have a removal, then this doesn't matter, but it also means that they have to use a removal on this Wasteland Strangler, which I'm fine with, because it's probably just going to be Path to Exile, in which case it gives me more mana. I will happily cash in this Wasteland Strangler for their Hallowed Fountain. Do I take this vial up to 4 is the question. Get this Gonti online. Answer is probably. I just need to kill them before. Because if I'm assaulting their mana base so much, I really just need to, like, get stuff going. That is an excellent draw. Means I can cast Thalia or Tide Hollow. I'm gonna Path Condemn. Put a tagging creature on bottom of its owner's library. So I could, like, try to Gonti them for a counter spell. But I don't think I care that much. I think I'd rather Gonti them for, like, value stuff. Just cast Thalia. Yeah, this is fine. They have Spell Snare, I'm kind of bummed, but sweet. So yeah, the Swamp was a fine choice. We got to Stone Rain them, rather than, like, cast that Thalia. Which also would have been nice, but... Alright, let's see what we get off the Gonti. Wow, these cards all suck. It's gotta be this Mana Leak. I'm never gonna cast Entreat the Angels. At least I can Mana Leak one of their cards now. If I draw a land, I could... Ooh. Let's attack, see what they do. If they cast a removal spell, I think I'm just gonna... Maybe not. Maybe I'll let this path happen and just Tide Hollow them, so I can set up this Gideon. This gives me another land. I'm down for this. This gets me to this Gideon. Opponent has 3 lands to Fairy plus Path. I can just take this Path, and then I can hold up Mana Leak for their Teferi. Means I can't just slam this Gideon next turn, but... Souls. I also just can't slam Souls. And we'll just path. If only I could Violin this Gideon. We are just going to snap off this Mana Leak. Now this game should be over. Yeah, this game... What, are they gonna, like, Supreme Verdict me? Cast another Teferi, maybe? They're almost dead on board. Yeah, this is fine. What are they gonna do? Minus on the Gideon? They're gonna plus. Interesting. Interesting line. is kind of dangerous to... I could emblem my Gideon and Bastion. They'll have 3 mana up here. They could, like, have a snap path. I could Flicker Wisp my Gonti. Could just try and kill the Teferi. Let's figure out what the play is. I have 15 minutes for a game 3. So I could Emblem Gideon, try to go for lethal. My opponent has a removal spell, they could, like, kill Tide Hollow, kill Gonti. What's up, Life is Bowling? How's it going? I only have enough mana to cast 1 of whatever spell I play. I could Flicker Wisp my Gonti, which might be decent. I could just keep zeroing Gideon since my opponent doesn't have an answer for it, short of -3ing their Teferi. I could just attack the Teferi for 6 and see what they do. Opponent only has 2 cards in hand. Trying to bring an old card back to modern. Which old card? Yeah, I think we're just going to attack. Since we don't have lethal here, we're just going to attack the Teferi, see what they do. They have, like, Snap Path. Oh, they're just... Okay, that just dies. So that means we can just make a knight and Flicker Wisp my Gonti. Do I have, like, a counter spell? This is fine. I'm just gonna Logic Knot it for, like, 2. Which is fine. We now have set up lethal with a Gideon still in play. Yeah, sure. Ignite Memories. Ah, yes. Oh, is it the magic highlight where the guy tries to, like, basically, like, super low rolls the Ignite Memories? Where he's, like, almost guaranteed to kill his opponent, but ends up not doing it. Opponent gets path back. We're gonna keep zeroing this Gideon, though. Yeah, I forget. I remember I saw the clip a long time ago, but I don't remember who was playing in it. So we have lethal if we want to minus this Gideon. We awkwardly... No, we can use the Displacer if we need to. Okay, the opponent has Path in hand, so we can't lethal them. Alright, so now we can get him to 5 triggers, but you only get him to 1. Yeah, something like that. So we can cast this Displacer, so we can attack through this Colonnade. If they, like, Cryptic it, we can still recast this Gideon. There's a chance I was supposed to just zero it first. But if they Cryptic it, then they're, like, just very close to... If they Cryptic it, they die anyway if they bounce the Gideon. Is it bounce, or is it... Oh, it's just bounce. Or it's tap? Okay. Sure. So now we zero the Gideon. The opponent still has Path in hand. So we can recast Lingering Souls here. Protect the Gideon from the Colonnade. Zero the Gideon again. Chafin still won. Some of those, the magic highlights are really sweet. There's like the, what is it, the Lightning Helix one? Another Wrath? Oh, that doesn't do anything, opponent. Unless you're setting up to, like, Terminus me. They could be setting up to, like, Opt Terminus, is something I should be wary of. Okay, no, they're just dead. Cool. Don't even have to make me play around it. So we didn't see anything relevant from the opponent, right? In terms of things I would want. other cards in my side before. They are all in on like Teferi, Jace, and a lot of Wraths. So Lingering Souls is very good. The Gideon was very good. Love watching the the Patrick Sullivan with the burn against Maverick. Oh man, that one's good. Patrick looks so young in that one too. Yeah, he beats Ross Miriam with like a GT and like an Ethersworn Canonist and like whatever, because he taps the Wasteland and then gets Price of Progress. That was some masterclass burn playing. I think I just run it back. We got to Stone Rain my opponent a bunch, and they still hit like all their land drops. We Stone Rained them twice. The Gonti was super clutch, being able to counter the first Teferi. The Gideon was also very clutch, being able to just play through a bunch of board wipes and stuff. Just all of our cards were very good there. Good work, deck. Christian was like, I hope he doesn't use Frag Mage. Yeah. He like taps the Wasteland, right, and then gets popped for like 4 more. Because he could have Wastelanded himself instead. Like how the Wasteland had to protect himself from Price of Progress. And yeah, we'll just resubmit here. We didn't see any Spreading Seas or like any. We only saw the 1 to 10 just for game 1, so I don't think Relic Warrior is worth it. Now, let's have a good hand. Let's have like Aether Vial into Bitter Blossom or something. Some really nutso hand. I don't know. Yeah, I think Price of Progress is the big one that he casts. Because it deals 2 damage for each non-basic he controls. Oh, well, asking ye shall receive, I suppose. Aether Vial into Bitter Blossom. Deal. Snap off this hand. Yeah, deals him 1 damage, or 2 damage for each non-basic he controls, so by tapping the Wasteland, he takes an extra 4 damage. Because he doesn't get to Wasteland himself. Yeah, thanks, Caleb. This hand is atrocious. I can't even cast this Thought-Knot Seer, or this Eldrazi Displacer. What am I doing? Now, I just really hope that my opponent does not Logic Knot this Bitter Blossom here. I think I just have to jam it. But my opponent has stuff like, has both Mana Leak, has like Mana Leak and Logic Knot in their deck, but there's no like better point for this Bitter Blossom to get resolved. Is the issue. And the next turn I can Violent Thalia plus play Displacer. Like, I'm still curving out very well, even if they do manage to answer this. We just hope they don't. Oh man. Negate? What? Negate hits how many cards in my deck? The 1 Gideon, the 1 Bitter Blossom, and like Aether Vials? This negate definitely does not feel correct to me. It feels like my opponent lost to that Gideon and was like, oh, I need answers to this Gideon. They went back through their sideboard and they put the negate in. That's kind of annoying. Would have been okay if they just Logic Knotted or Mana Leaked it, but... I'm going to Thalia here, because I want to play the tap land now, so I can try to set up the Thought-Knot next turn. Happy they just freed my Aether Vial, at least, because it means my creatures are... I just have more creatures. They don't have Cryptic Command here. So we're just going to slam Thought-Knot in hopes that they don't have another counterspell. They can't have Cryptic here. They need, like, Logic Knot or Mana Leak or whatever, but... just jam it. Seems sweet. Solitaire Storm. Ooh, it resolves. Path it on the stack. Field ruining my Shambling Events, not my colorless source. Interesting. Field ruin into like a... Ooh. So my opponent has Path, Snap, and Supreme Verdict. So if I take the Path here, my opponent just untaps and Verdicts me. So that's why they activated the Field Ruin here, so they could set up them having Supreme Verdict mana. The issue is that if I take the Verdict, my opponent can, like, Path my Thought-Knot, and then even, like, I have Snap Path up later. But I think that's still better than just getting board wiped. Because my opponent will eventually be able to also just snap Supreme Verdict once they hit one more land, which will be a disaster. So by exiling the Supreme Verdict, we just save ourselves a lot of hindrance in the future. They do get to just path this, untap. Or don't path it? Yeah, the choice is a little rough. I don't know why they didn't fire off this Path to Exile, but okay. They had 2 mana, right? They could path through the Thought Knot, or through the Thalia. Alright, let's attack. I imagine they will at least path, if not path snap. Path. Yep. Goodbye, Thought Knot. I would like to use that ability. Now they don't have mana to snap Path to Exile, at least. So if I play this Shambling Vent, it just gets already a basic. Yeah, this Field Ruin is just Stone Rain now. Because they path and Field Ruined, and I drew 1 basic, I think. So I think we're just going to cast Displacer, make them try to like Field Ruin this Caves to save the Shambling Vent for later. Because it's just another creature. So we'll just cast Displacer. They can very obviously just Field Ruin my colorless source, or just Snap Path it in the future. Yeah, see, this is the... Oh no, they just have another path? Man, that's a bummer. Now they just get to path me a bunch, and I have no more basics in my deck. Now they still have the Snapcaster for the Path to Exile, and we're definitely running low on creatures. Just gonna Terminus me, sure. Ooh. Oh no, they can snap negate my Gideon. Need them to burn off this Snapcaster Mage. We're gonna target this Field Ruin, see if they activate it. No. So we need them to get rid of this Snapcaster so we can resolve this Gideon. They can like Snap Path this Flicker Wisp. The Snap Opt, that is a show of dominance that I'm terrified of. But at least that means we know they don't have this Snapcaster anymore. Would it be troll to run a mono blue deck with 4 Back to Basics? Back to Basics is pretty nuts. Miracles is doing it, but they're like a 2-color deck, obviously. That Celestial Colony is actually super obnoxious because now it just can kill my Gideon. We can draw like Ghost Quarter or Fatal Push now. That is neither of those. Oh, finally they activate. They're not going to take out the caves, really? Come on, opponent, what are you doing? Oh, that's annoying. They do have Vendilion Click. No, they get to click my Gideon away. Yeah, now we're very dead here. And we drew... You cursed me. How about Temple? Alright, how about 2 Temples? That's why they... So this just trades the Flicker Wisp. Yeah, this is bad. I think we're pretty dead here. Too bad I didn't board in Zealous Persecution. Would be pretty strong right now. Cast like Teferi or Jace now. Oh, they're just gonna Animate Colonnade, sure. We're gonna trade with this Vendilion Click, I think. So I'm taking 9. Yeah, we're gonna trade with this Click. that's a good draw. You should run one waste for this, just in case. Waste is so bad. I'm more inclined to play basic waste a little bit now if I move off of these ghost quarters in the future, if I stop playing Arbiter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. I think I just like go Souls, pass. Could also just animate vents and hit them. I think I'd honestly rather animate Shambling Vent, just to gain life if they're trying to race me. Obviously I should have attacked first if I was going to do this, but this also kind of doesn't play around anything. We want to gain as much life as we can, I think, if they're actually just trying to legitimately race me with this Colonnade. That's annoying. Got another one hit with the Shambling Vent, at least. Souls, and they Terminus me and beat down with the Colonnade some more. I will trade. Well, that's not very helpful. One has 2 cards in hand. We're just going to cast the other Lingering Souls here. If they have a board wipe, we're just dead. We can't attack into this Colonnade because... Didn't feel... I mean, they don't need to field the event right now, right? They can just feel it whenever. Yeah, now they're just going to field it. If I had animated it, then they just field it then. I have nothing, opponent. Well, I guess technically I shouldn't have 6, because... No, I can't even search my library for a basic. I have no more basics. So even if they, like, Path of Spirit or something. Is this a Hardcast Terminus? Yep. Souls. Perfect draw. As long as they don't draw a Planeswalker, we have... Never mind. Oh. That seems a little loose. That Terminus felt a little aggressive. Take your Timely, I suppose. Timely's not good when neither have 70 creatures. Why didn't they cast... Oh, because they're the same life total as me, too. Yeah, now they're just gonna beat in. I have like 4 Ghost Quarters and some Fatal Pushes as well to kill this Colonnade. We're not winning this race right now. I go to 6, they go to 7, I go to 2, they... yeah. Yeah, for some reason Colonnade is Vigilance. Alright, now they're just gonna bury me with this Azcanta, is their plan. I can't attack through this Colonnade. We're just gonna cast all the Lingering Souls possible. We are incredibly dead, so... Our plan is to draw a Fatal Push, or a Ghost Quarter or something. Hope their Azcantos are bad and don't find board wipes. Wrath of God? Alright, sure. We tried. Are they gonna, like, Cryptic? Why tap draw? Why not, like, bounce your own Detention Sphere draw? Yeah, they're just gonna Wrath of God me, sure. If we draw Ghost Quarter, we'd have to, like, hit the Azcanto, too. They just gonna fire the Colonnade? Opponent is getting very needlessly aggressive with their lines. Like, they just cycled a Cryptic command. we're obviously not going to win, but opponent's an active Azcanta. We are definitely buried. Yeah, opponent's like getting pretty cocky with their plays, but they're pretty far ahead. They probably just got like minus this to Teferi. Alright, sure. Don't minus the Teferi. I hope we don't draw Smasher. Smasher would have been a sick draw at this point. This Timely seems a little loose. It's just make 3 guys, 2 of which are just going to die to this Eldrazi Displacer. Hey, we drew this Ghost Quarter. Unfortunately, we have to Ghost Quarter this Colonnade, sort of 6 life. We only have 3 mana, so I don't want to do it right now, because they could actually, like... This is 3 activate, right? Yeah, so they could... If I Ghost Quarter their Colonnade, and they have another basic, they could float the mana, get another untapped land, and actually activate this Colonnade an extra time. Does Displacer... Yeah, Displacer does say other creature. I can't flicker itself. That would be nuts. Opponent just gonna, like, snap another Opt. Yeah, we are very officially dead. Yeah, if it could flicker itself, that would be insane. We are dead in 2 turns. Opponent's got us on the Snapcaster beatdowns. Another search. Deal. We need to somehow draw 2 Reality Smashers. And hope the last card in my opponent's hand doesn't, like, settle the wreckage or something. Oh, we're alive. Take that, Snapcaster Mage. Oh, are they gonna try to find a counter? Realistically, I probably should have done this on end step. They just found Terminus, cool. So, in response to the Azcanta activation, I can just push the snap. But we are not winning this game, so my choices don't really matter too much. That's quite the entreat you got there, opponent. Come on, make all the angels. What? 3 angels? Boo. Opponent's not gonna make like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever angels, some absurd amount. Opponent's no fun. Oh, they left the card on top. How nice of them. They wanted to give me a fighting chance. They left me with my Hidetsugu's second right. Dang. Alright, that was an interesting match. It's definitely hard to beat like those 900 board wipe decks. Blue-white miracles. The negate was so backbreaking. I think if they didn't have a negate there, we could have easily just run away with that game. Because, oh no, they did end up firing a detention. Never mind, that's not true. They fired off a detention sphere on my on my Aether Vial. They could have detention sphere my Bear Blossom instead. Yeah, if you can't kill them in the early turns, it's like very hard to win. But then I would have an Aether Vial, so like stuff like my Flicker Wisp would have gotten a lot better. So it's debatable. Turn 2 Smasher, or turn 2 with Thought Knot, rather. Seems fine. We're just never put them to 5 too. Oh man. Turn 2 Thought Knot's gonna be real good. Well, not anymore. They probably take Thought Knot. Now we're just on the Thalia plan. They take the only uncastable spell in my hand? What? What? Why would you take Tide Hollow Scholar, opponent? I can't cast it, and I'm going to play this Thought-Knot next turn. Like, I'm a no... What? I'm so confused. I'm just gonna Thought-Knot Seer you, opponent. I mean, I guess I take this Lingering Souls. Sure. They have a Collective Brutality. Okay. I have a 4/4. What was their plan? I think I might just need to pat this Jace. Although Unburied Rise costs like 9,000 mana, right? 4. Guess I could Strangle it? But then I give them Souls tokens? That's probably worth it, right? I give them 2 Souls, but... If you don't take Souls, they can't cast... Oh, I mean, that's fair. Because they only have the 2 mana. But eventually they probably will cast it, and their Collective Brutality wasn't scary. I think I'm just going to Strangle it, give them the back half of their Souls back, because this Jace VP is a little bit scary with the Unburial Rites in the graveyard, and also they're stuck on 2 lands. There's a lot of reasons to want to just do this. There's some rationale taking the Collective Brutality, but... I suppose I kind of didn't realize that the Wasteland Strangler just very cleanly answers the Jace, so I could have taken the Brutality to not give them any value until they hit the 3rd land off the Souls. But eventually 4 Souls can block my Thought-Knot. They just, like, cast Souls here, it's whatever. They still can't block a 4/4. Probably honestly just casting Thalia here. Just to hold them from casting more non-creature spells. Could technically cast Arbiter to try and turn off fetches. Goryo's back to Jace. Aggressive. Oh. Suddenly scary. This is suddenly a little bit concerning, right? You can slam Thalia and... Yeah, because now they can get back an Obsidian, right? Don't know how much I care about. Because they could flashback the Goryo's next turn. I could Wasteland Strangle, give them the Souls back, but kill a Soul. But I can only attack the Jace for 3. They chump block this Thought-Knot with the other one. I put the Jace to 3. They have to kill their Jace to flashback Goryo's. And then they get an Obsidian. But how much do I care about that? Because then I'm just attacking them for 9, and they're going to 10? If that's their plan? Of course, if that's the case, I could just attack their face, too. Because they're going to spend next turn minusing the Jace. If they do minus the Jace on like the Goryo's Vengeance or whatever, then I don't really care. They gain 2 life, but that's fine. Could just play Displacer or Arbiter. Probably Displacer. Displacer sets up being able to like blink tokens out of the way next turn. So if I attack with both, they go to 4, and then they could... Yeah, I think I attack with both here. If they want to trade off both spirits... I thought about attacking with Strength the last turn, and I probably should have. Just so I'm not in this awkward chump blocking situation like I am now. I think I'm fine either way. I think I'm just going to attack their face with both, cast Displacer. Just don't care about the Jace. can't, like, randomly main deck Wrath me so that this Thalia in play anyway. They could double block the Strangler, go to 4, and then I play Displacer, and then they're just, like, very dead still. Yep. So yeah, Flashback Warriors on opposite just kills them. They will just die if they do that. So they need something way better. Path to Exile plus plussing the Jace would be okay. Okay, or just die. That's fine. I'll accept my opponent's death. So my opponent's playing like Esper, Goryo's, Control, Garbage, with Lingering Souls. So what cards do I want? I'm definitely not familiar enough with his opponent's deck list to hash out a super good plan against my opponent's like Control versus like Reanimator strategies. We don't have any rips. Strangler is surprisingly good, I suppose, because it kills Jaces. Although Path is probably more relevant than Push in terms of that regard, because we can also Path like a Pontiff or Elish Norn or whatever they decide to reanimate. I don't know what's in their deck. How many control cards do I want, though? Like, how many anti-control cards do I want for this matchup versus just kill them fast before they do their weird reanimator stuff? Like, I like most of the cards in my deck. I guess Eldrazi Displacer is a little bit slow. I'm still blown away that they took the Tidehollow Scholar that was literally never castable throughout the course of that entire game. Like, I was never going to be able to cast that card. If they had taken that Thought-Knot Seer, that game might have gone very, very differently. Although if that's the case, I would have slammed Thalia on 2, and then they might have actually just lost because they couldn't cast, like, anything. Although then I would have never had an activator for the Strangler to kill the Jace, although I could have just pathed it. I don't know. Would have been a very different game. I do think I want Zealous, at least, because Lingering Souls tokens are kind of obnoxious to punch through on occasion. I'm not sure if I want something as big as like Gideon or Bitter Blossom. Gonti's probably fine. Cut Displacer. Souls is pretty good against Souls. It's really bad against Elish Norn, but I don't even know. I don't know what they want to reanimate. Do they have like Iona in their deck? Do they have Elish? Do they have just Obzidats? I think if they just had Obzidats, they wouldn't be on Unburial Rites, so. Let's bring in like a push. Jace is kind of, although Jace being put in their graveyard is not very great for me, since then they can Goryo's it back for that combo. Yeah, let's go like that. Sure, why not? Opponent's deck is rather odd. Did I not update? Why does it say 33? Trying to figure out what's wrong with my Excel sheet. Sounds like kind of medium, but good enough. Aether Isle's powerful. We have Pathless Strangler. So we can like Path of Jace. Why is the spreadsheet not updated? Oh, it should be 19 loss. No. This is match 3. Did I put a win instead of a loss or something? Just realized my opponent's name is Strangle Dangles, but we are the true Strangler. Opponent's gonna like ceremonious rejection this. Wow. Okay. They said, I mean, I guess ceremonious is better than like Stony Silence that some people bring in. We're just gonna path this. Man, I really hope I draw a 4th land, because these Thought-Knots are gonna get real good. Is it worth giving them the loot and giving them a tap land next turn? Probably not. I don't know what they do on 4 versus 3 mana. I think I'd rather just not give them the loot. I don't think this deck has a lot of proactive plays on 4. But again, I don't know what's in their deck. Really want to draw Eldrazi Temple. We'll also accept just a 4th land. Don't really care about that Thoughtseize too much. If they have another Jace, they could take Strangler or something, but we are going to Thought-Knot them for the rest of time. Come on, Temple. Easy game, easy life. Everything's easy. They can snap Ceremoniousness if they want. I don't even know if they have snaps in their deck. They can just, like, revolt and push this. Oh, they do have snap? Okay. So they do snap reject this, that's fine. That's why we have Thought-Knot number, like, 17 here. Are they showing, like, cast an Obsidian here? It is a 5/5. It trucks in pretty hard. Let's draw Path. Not that much of a wizard. So I could try to, like, Tide Hollow Strangle this, but I think I'd rather just play a 4/4. Yeah, we'll pretend to hold up Path to Exile. Well, guess I take this other Obsidian and try to draw Path to Exile. Give them back the Ceremonious if I strangle the Snap. Inquisition, that's kind of rude. Probably take the Strangler, I would imagine. Could stack block this Obsidian. Yeah, we're just gonna take a bunch of damage, cast all my stuff, plan on stack blocking the Obsidian. Opponent's Hellbent, so I give them another draw here. But we're not gonna race. They might just, like, stop attacking, drain me out with these triggers. Yep. Come on, Path to Exile. That's not a path. So I think we're just dead, right? Maybe I didn't think about the slow burn off this Obsidian when I was factoring in. I definitely shouldn't have cast the Arbiter. Giving me 1 less turn to live, I'd be at 5 life right now. And I'm already dead because I can't beat the Obsidian trigger next turn. So maybe I do want more control cards. I don't think my opponent's doing any fancy comboing. The Shambling Vet would have been nice last turn. Yeah. Opponent apparently is on, like, Snapcasters and Thoughtseizes and stuff. Maybe we do just want a bunch of grindy cards and not really wanting Fatal Push. Did I end up not playing? Yeah, I didn't end up putting in Fatal Push. But I could use, like, these Displacers again. And maybe I just don't care that much about Lingering Souls. Path is still fine because it deals with Obsidian or Jason and friends. Gideon feels kind of bad, though. Because they can, like, hasten Obsidians and such. What would I not want? Is the thing. I think most of my cards are pretty fine here. Maybe I just don't No, Strangler's pretty strong. I think maybe we'll just do that instead. I like the fact that Gonti can actually trade with an opposite at. Bitter Blossom seems okay, but I'm not super happy about it. I could see swapping out Bitter Blossom and Displacer here or something. Just have like a good 7. This is a good 7. It's a little awkward because I have to not have a turn 2 play unless I draw a better land. I could go for an Arbiter. Be down for that. Thoughtseize. Interesting. Fragmentize. Is that worth bringing in? I guess it's Aether Vial and Tide Hollow? So I could, like, path this plus play Thalia? Yeah, that seems fine. Really want to draw Leon and Arbiter so I can double Ghost Quarter them. They just F6 through their turn? Deal. Yeah, I think the pause is that, oh crap, I F6 through my turn. Oh no, I clicked F6 by accident. Says the opponent in chat. Understandable. Happens to the best of us. Rights, Azcanta, Elish. I wish I could just take both of these Azcantas, but as it sits, I think we just have to take the Rights. The Rights doesn't do anything, though. They don't have any cards in the yard. Taking an Azcanta doesn't do anything either, though. The first one's not flipping anytime soon. I guess I'll take the Rights. Not super happy about it. I want them to play Godless Shrine tapped, Azcanta, and then we draw Leon and Arbiter. Not quite. They can like hard cast this Elishnorn. If they flip the Search at some point, they only need 2 more lands. But then they kill like 2 of my creatures and I still have this path. Give them a much better clock than that anyway. Especially because we can start animating this Shambling Vent and getting in. 1 top, 1 bottom on the Visions. Tar Pit. They're almost there. Punch with everybody. Alright, I have lethal next turn. And they do not have enough mana to cast an Elishnorn. Supreme Verdict. It's like, it's a little bit annoying, but not terribly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are working all the way toward Elishnorn, but we have this path, so we don't really care. So yeah, I don't want to path my own creatures. I just let this happen. They get back their useless Unburial Rights. We can just set up. So I can't cast Displacer, and so if I cast Displacer and Thalia, at least the Elish won't kill the Displacer. But if I cast Displacer, I can't animate events here. But that won't be lethal anyway. So I think we just play Displacer here. And then cast Thalia. Because the Thalia means that if they don't hit land 7 somehow, then they actually just lose. Oh, now they're dead. Oh yeah, because they have to fetch, so we do have lethal. If they just tap out for Elishnorn, they die. Because we just path the Elishnorn, and then we now have Shambling Vents plus Displacer for lethal. Yep, they are going to Elish me. And then I will win the game. GG, opponent. Too little, too late there, Leonin Arbiter. Would have been nice, like, 2 turns ago when I was sitting there with 2 Ghost Quarters while my opponent was trying to steadily hit land drops to Elishnorn me. Alright, I need to figure out what I did with my spreadsheet. So I input it as a loss, Blue-White Miracles. But did I just accidentally record it as a win? What happens if I just Control-Z? Okay, no, I did input it as a win, so that's incorrect. So I lost that, but then I won another game against Esper Goryo. Alright, let's go to match 4. Shambling is such an unassuming card, but yeah, it's definitely a house in some matchups. Just gives you that extra clock. Gives you some life gain against some of the aggressive decks, trying to like race burn and whatnot. Just helps player on board wipes. Like my opponent Supreme Verdicted me, and we still had the ability to clock them. Part of the reason we lost the game against Miracles is because they drew like three Field of Ruins or whatever. They got to kill 2 of my Shambling Vents, just using their lands as removal spells for my like land creatures. Because we try to use them to mitigate flooding, but they managed to also just straight up Stone Rain me because I didn't have any more basics. Would like to play first. This hand's fine. We have Vile into like Thalia into Violent Arbiter or something. I'm going to lead with Temple. It doesn't really matter what basic I lead with. Temple doesn't tell them that I'm specifically black-white, but I'm not like going to be drawing anything relevant. Because my hand couldn't even cast a Tidal if I top decked it next turn. And if I draw a colored source, I could still just not use the Caves for Pain to cast the Thalia. So I'll probably just lead with Temple. But the decision's not it's kind of a moot point. You can also set up this Path plus Arbiter being possibly relevant, obviously depending on what the opponent's on. I really hope the opponent isn't playing humans, because Thalia and Arbiter are just so bad against humans. We draw like Displacer in this hand, would be pretty gas against humans. Alright, opponent finally kept. After a solid minute and a half. Wow. Come on, opponent. This is the one deck I didn't want you to be playing. What did I say? I specifically requested not humans. Alright, well, we drew second path, so that's pretty good. I almost, like, don't want to take damage for this Thalia here. At least we have multiple path exiles for the opponent's stuff now. Then this is the turn where they just turn to Meddling Mage and blind name and Path to Exile. Which, in fairness, I would definitely name if I was playing against Taxes and I just like didn't have a better turn to play than a Meddling Mage. Now maybe I just don't get to cast Path to Exile at all. Since now they cost 3 mana. Oh, never mind. We'll attack. I would love to trade. I'd also love for them to just play Mantis Rider or something here. That would be nice. I'm concerned this is a Meddling Mage. I'm like, but I don't really want... I have Flicker Wisp, so I don't really care. This is a Kite Sail. I also don't care. Because I have both paths. Yeah, they can take one. Fortunately, this means I have to path the Freebooter to get it back. So essentially their Kite Sail gets to eat one of my paths. But it's whatever. If they have Mantis Rider here, it could get a little obnoxious. Could honestly just path the Mantis Rider if they have it. What if it takes Arbiter? No, Kite Sail is Duress, not Thoughtseize, so they can't take creatures or lands. So they can literally only take my paths. Is it a Lieutenant, perhaps? Meddling Mage. Interesting. Oh, no, this is a Mantis Rider. I think I'm honestly just going to path the Mantis Rider here. I have this Flicker Wisp if I want to get my path back. We'll Violent Arbiter. Yeah, it is non-creature, non-land. Luckily. The card would be even more bananas than it is in this deck. You just take your opponent's like Tarmogoyfs or whatever. Alright, so now we have access to our second path. Unfortunately, that's like all we're doing. And this Kite Sail can still trade with Flicker Wisps and stuff. I don't know if we're gonna win this game. Having Arbiter and Thalia in my opener, having double path is really good, but we're very behind. My opponent still has 4 cards in their hand. Resolves. Please be not another Mantis Rider. Reflector Mage I would be like okay with. For sure. Bounce my Thalia. Bounce the Arbiter. Is it so I can't get the value, like they get their basic land if I path them now? Okay. I might end up having to path this Kite Sail anyway, since I might have to take this battle to the air. This is no, they can't cast an image here. Oh, this is just another Mantis Rider? Never mind. We will path the second Mantis Rider, faux show. Really want to draw Eldrazi Displacer here. Now they get their basic land, because they bounced... I assume that's why they bounced the Arbiter, so they could at least get a basic here, since the Reflector Mage choice didn't matter a whole lot. But it also means that my Thalia gets to brick wall their Thalia now. Since I'm not attacking into the 2/3 this turn, obviously. Human, right. Let's draw Eldrazi Displacer. That is not an Eldrazi Displacer deck. We'll just sit on our hands. Not attacking into their 1/2 with my 3/1. So we will bide our time. Unfortunately, my opponent has 3 cards in their hand to bide their time and a Horizon Canopy, so they're biding a lot better than I am. Canopy, sure. Are they gonna name Illusion? I feel like they might have had a Phantasmal stuck in their hand for a little bit. Yep. Or it might just be for safety, for future Phantasmal images. Noble. Sure. I guess that lets them attack with this Mage now. Oh, never mind. Deal. We'll snap off that trade. I don't know why they didn't attack with the 3/4 Reflector Mage, but okay. We could still draw Displacer and be in this game. Oh, I guess that's why they attacked? Because they had a backup Thalia? Come on, Displacer. Again, not a Displacer. We have, like, maybe 1 turn to draw a Displacer if they haven't drawn Thalia's Lieutenant or, like, another Mantis Striker by now. I'll take it this time. Come on, Displacer, please, 1 time. No whammies. That's fine. That is not a whammy. It's a Flicker Wisp. That's not unreasonable. I might trade with this Kite Sail now. Trade with Kite Sail, uses next Flicker Wisp to fog their attack. Yep. You pin the shark in the camera for the sake of the viewers. That's mean. I care about my viewers. So now we can use this Flicker Wisp to fog, assuming they just attack with 1. Although, it would make sense for them to attack with both, it's just more damage. They can imagine that I have another Flicker Wisp in my hand, because I think that's about the only reason I would attack there. Are they just going to make another Reflector Mage? Because this seems poor. So Thalia's Lieutenant? This is a Thalia's Lieutenant into a Phantasmal image for another Thalia's Lieutenant? Because that would be a disaster. I don't know how opponent's taking so long trying to cast this. Is this a Meddling Mage? Sure. Probably named Path to Exile or something. Thought Not Seer, maybe. But I have this file, so... I'm also trying to figure out what to name. I'd imagine it's just path. Even though I've already fired off 2 paths, they can't really lock me out of a lot else that matters at all. I have a Vial on 3, so they can't lock me out of like Displacer or Wisp or Strangler, which are like the 3 best cards in my deck right now. Besides another path. So you just name the one card that at least they can lock me out of if I top deck it. The Angel draws the Displacer. That seems like a poor choice. Resolves opponent. Yeah, Souls would be really good. That's fair. They're gonna make a Reflector Mage. Really? Make another Meddling Mage? I'm just gonna blow. I mean, I guess I just get to blow up their Phantasmal Image here. But I don't know why they copied their Mage rather than copying a Reflector Mage at least to punch in for more damage here. Now my Arbiter can still chump block. Name's Wasteland Strangler. I have a Vial on 3 opponent. I don't know if you realize that Vial gets around Meddling Mage, but... I guess we just take this. Because we'd rather actually use this Flicker Wisp as a kill spell. Again, accept Souls. Would also accept any of my 3-drops, I think. Yeah, anything with CMC 3 that's in my deck right now, I would accept as a top deck. I hope I'm not thinking of something that deck's gonna punish me. Oh, no, we drew another Wisp. That is excellent. Unfortunately, it's probably not good enough. The card quality of my opponent's deck is just so high, the chances of me actually getting there are pretty low. My hope is that my opponent somehow decides to Alpha Strike me, and we can Flicker Wisp to save our lives, and then attack them for exactly lethal. This is the Lieutenant. This is a freebooter. Okay, so they know about the Wisp. It also that means I can trade with this Wisp. That's kind of obnoxious. So now the opponent's attack getting more aggressive here. Yeah, we're just gonna use this Wisp to gain 2 life. Go to 5. We're dead on board on the ground at least. So we block the Thalia. Wisp the Arbiter, so the Thalia stays tapped. Not super relevant, but it gives me the option of attacking with this Arbiter next turn if I want to. I could technically attack for lethal, depending on what I draw. That is a very good draw. Unfortunately, I can only cast 1/2, but I might actually attack for lethal now. Just alpha them. So if my opponent draws Thalia's Lieutenant, I think I'm just dead regardless. But by attacking with everything, I get to set up like a way higher likelihood of me actually being able to kill them. Like next turn, rather than giving them multiple turns to draw outs. I wish I could cast both halves, but this Thalia is actually really annoying. I only have enough mana to cast the front half. So if I alpha, then cast Souls, and they draw a Reflector Mage, I actually die. So maybe I don't alpha. I could just attack with the Wisps. They block 1, go to 5, and then Souls still kills them. Unless they have something. So I could chump block here, go to 1. Yeah. Alright, so we're not going to attack with the Arbiter. Yeah, I figure the trade... know my hand is just this basic plains. So I just need to dodge Lieutenant, I think, is the only real huge danger. I guess Mantis Rider might. Not exactly sure. Oh, well. Opponent makes it easy for me and just concedes instead of making me try to play around these Aether Vials. So I always enjoy that, because it's definitely... I probably would have just attacked with Souls plus Wisp there, since I can even, like, flashback the Wisp for more block... or flashback the Souls for more blockers, but... Like, with 2 Vials up, every card in your hand that your opponent doesn't know is definitely a card that you should be actively playing around and can be devastating in the right circumstances. So luckily we just bring in 8 cards and we just cut all these and one more, I guess. A Thought Knot, maybe? No, probably a Lingering Souls. Although on the draw, Thought Knot's probably not great. Might rather have, like, a bunch of flyers than Thought Knot Seers, since humans empties out their hand so fast as well. Well, we asked to draw a bunch of 3-drops, and then we drew a bunch of 3-drops. So, like, that was our plan. Because the 3-drops are, like, the cards that matter the most in this matchup. That was a little nerve-wracking, honestly. Opponent's card quality is just a lot better than ours. This hand is... Ugh. I hate hands that are, like, good enough, because good enough usually isn't good enough against humans. But, like, we have Removal Spell, we have Tide Hollow, we have Displacer. Displacer is really good with, like, a bunch of mana, if they don't kill it. I think we keep this hand. We keep this hand and then probably die to, like, a super aggressive start from humans. If they play Champ, I might path it. Alright, Noble. So we're not going to path, we're just going to play Vent. Although they might Mantis Rider me. But I'd rather just, like, have Painless Land. I don't have to, like, repeatedly tap this Caves to cast... I'd have to, like, Plains, cast Path, and then, like, Caves, cast Scholar or something. And then there's never a good opportunity to use this Shambling Vent. Although then we get immediately punished by the opponent having the old Hierarch into Mantis Rider. Which means we're going to have to path this anyway, rather than playing Scholar. Likely. Zealous doesn't do a whole lot. It kills this Hierarch. I'll be happy if another 1 next turn. It's tempting to Scholar them here. Taking another 4 is terrifying, but I could set up, like, Path plus Persecution or something. Or Path plus Displacer or something. Just being more mana efficient is super tempting. But I think I just rather would not take a billion damage. Since we have the tools to win a long game, we just don't want to die in the short term. Probably should have not let them hit this 4th lane, since this deck does play Restoration Angel at times. Thank you for playing Pre-Combat Vial. They have, like, another Mantis Rider. Thalia. Ooh, this Zealous gets better. So now we can Zealous. They only have 2 cards left in hand. We set up for, like, Gaunty, Displacers, and stuff. Fortunately, Zealous costs 3 mana, so I can't follow up with, like, Aether Vial. Could actually just Tide Hollow them, maybe? Get real greedy on the Zealous Persecution. But, like, they don't have a very threatening board. And the Tide Hollow gets worse and worse as time goes on. We're gonna Tide Hollow them. They only have 2 cards left in hand. I think I would want to take something here, like a Reflector Mage or... Kind of pretty badly punished there. They just don't have anything. But as long as they don't draw... If they draw Lieutenant here, then we're just supremely punished, but... I think we're, like, kind of fine other than that. Oh, no! No! We got ultimate punished! Need to take my Zealous now. Although we have this Displacer, so I don't care too much. Because I'm just going to blow up this Tide Hollow. So yeah. Oh yeah, Kite Sail be a bad, but I find that these decks usually board out Kite Sail in this matchup. They take the Displacer. I guess that kind of makes sense, because now I can't kill their Tide Hollow. This might have been a little bit greedy, but I don't know. Displacer's a fair take there. So we could Zealous into Vile. Develop this Vile at least. We have this Gonti, which is actually super helpful too. Rather than our other option is to Zealous them on their turn so they can't attack, but they still can't attack. They can't attack anyway, because I would love to trade. So we're just gonna main phase Zealous into Vile. Although, I have to play Caves. I don't really care. I could attack, but I'm not winning the damage race here. I'd rather just, like, I'm much better suited to win this long game. I have this Gonti. If I can get this Scholar off the table, which is pretty easy based on all the cards in my deck, then we just can take over the game completely with Eldrazi Displacer. Do they have, like, Mantis Rider? That's suddenly very dangerous. Oh, Sandcaster? Sure. That doesn't do anything. Ooh. That should be pretty close to game over. I can path the Tide Hollow, get back Displacer, play Displacer. I could just play the Gonti and then risk the path getting taken, but we also get to Gonti them. I could Gonti and then Shock. But I'm going down to 10, but they just don't have anything in play. And then next turn I'll have enough mana to just cast Displacer plus have an activation. Yeah, I like playing Gonti. Wow. Not really good pickings. I guess I'll take this Meddling Mage because it's better than an Aether Vial, but... Too bad we can't even Vial in this Meddling Mage. Useless. What would I even name with this mage? I guess it depends on where their Vial goes. If the Vial goes with 3, I can name like Thalia's Lieutenant. Did they draw the Mantis Rider? Second Staticaster. That gets kind of annoying, but luckily my creatures are, the important ones are X3s, so... This does kill my Tide Hollow, but their Thalia doesn't do anything, so... They double... Actually... Oh, they can't even double ping the Tide Hollow right now. That kills their own Tide Hollow. I will path this, though. Just so I can cast Displacer next turn. Start just displacing my Gonti and burying them. So they can... Yeah, now they can ping off my Tide Hollow. It does not matter. They get back a Thalia. I get back this Displacer. One of these matters way more than the other. They file in their Thalia, sure. So now we should be able to bury them pretty well. I'll leave up the Displacer activation in case they draw something like Mantis Rider. This deck usually only plays 2 CI casters, so I'm not terribly scared. It makes combat math a little annoying, because this Thalia can actually just start attacking. But I'm just going to block with the Gonti here, and then blink it. Dismember is pretty good. I'll take a Dismember. I can just cast it for full equity, so I don't take damage. Oh. Opponent just concedes, and shows me their Cavern of Souls in hand. Whew! Yeah, I think once we got like Gonti plus Displacer and we were untapping, that game was very, very over. Where's humans? It's my 6th match against humans. 9 and 6 in games, 4 and 2 in matches. Yeah, humans. That's one of the biggest draws to playing black-white is just you have a much better humans matchup. You have stuff like Fatal Push and Wasteland Strangler, especially, are just these very powerful cards. I'll keep this hand and hope we're playing against like Burn and they go Goblin Guide into Rift Bolt. Ooh. Potentially the mirror match. Aw, man. Suddenly not the mirror match. Much more boring. What does my opponent have up here? What is my opponent's deck? I'm already confused about that. B, what is my opponent holding up? Probably like Fatal Push or Path to Exile? Or like possibly a counter spell? I think I want to run out this Displacer since it plays around Push specifically. I don't really care if it gets Path, and if I play Arbiter and it dies, it ruins, like, I can set up for this Arbiter Ghost Quarter play next turn if I want. So I think we want to run out just a Displacer here. What's up, Spider Space? How's it going? They might like Mana Leak this, or Opt, yeah, that plays. That's probably in their deck, I guess. They at least can't push this. They could path it, yeah, there we go. Go get another Plains. But they could have pathed my Arbiter too. This just sets up for my Ghost Quarter better. What is my opponent playing? I mean, I guess I just thought not them here? See if they counter it? Sure, logic, or they're just gonna like snap path it, sure. That's fine, I guess. I don't know what my opponent's doing. Okay, my opponent's just like, I guess Esper control with Shambling Vent. Nice negate. We'll take your Teferi. They'll now obviously path my Thought-Knot. We'll get our last land. We set up to like Flicker Wisp Strangle a land away from them, but they're pretty set on their lands. I'm gonna play this Flooded Strand. It attacks me for 2. So we could Wisp away Shambling Vent. My opponent has 2 unknowns in their hand. 2 unknowns, Watergrave, Negate. So like Wisp, Shambling Vent, Strangle, Snapcaster is a pretty good play if they don't have a removal spell. Arbiter's still not doing anything here. So Arbiter's not huge. I think there's pretty high upside to just Wisp strangling them, especially because we just have another Strangler. I hope we give him, we do him dirty. Would be nice, but we'll find out, I suppose. Flicker Wisp. They could have, like, Cryptic here for all I know. Now I don't know what they're doing. I'm just gonna go to main 2 if they float mana. Oh no, they can't Cryptic now. I don't know what their plan is. Okay, I guess. Opponent's playing Esper Gifts with Teferi? I mean, that resolves. I could now, I guess Arbiter Ghost Core would do the same thing as Strangling them. I'm still Stonering them either way. Are they just gonna get, like, Unburial Rights Iona or something? That would be kind of a bummer. The fact that the opponent's taking this long makes me think that their plan is not to just unbear. No, nope, their plan is to unbear or it's Elish me. Now we have a path for that. So, that's not the worst. They do get to kill my Wisp and my Strangler next turn, but... I will still Stone Rain them. There you go. Water Grave, Flashback, Unburial Rights, get Elish. Or, oh, they drew Field Run, okay. That's fine too. Then we just Arbiter Path Ghost Quarter them. Oh no, we can't Arbiter. Just dies to the Elish. That's actually kind of a bummer. So we have to path this first, and they get to search, and then we Stone Rain them. Or we take them off of black. Do I want to... I guess I could also take them off of white. Is interesting. I don't know what's even in their deck in either of those colors. Do I want to play a 3-2 here? My opponent's at 19. They have a Water Grave and a Negate and an Unknown. I don't think Strangler is going to be very good against them, so I think I do actually just want to play a 3-2 here. Yeah, I'll just give them these Unburial Rights back. Yeah, Ben's the July 2nd, I think? Water Grave. Yeah, I forgot he had the Water Grave. I wasn't really thinking that much. Teferi, sure. It just dies, unless they top deck a removal spell, which would be kind of a bummer. Yeah, I definitely should have hit the planes. That was on me. Please don't draw path. Sweet. How much do I want to play into, like, board wipes out of the opponent's deck? Yeah, July 2nd, I think, is the banned restricted list update. That's like the week before M19, something like that. Opponent has Negate and 2 Unknowns in hand. Opponent's at 17. Eh. I imagine my opponent has at least 3 board wipes in their deck because of Gifts Ungiven. I imagine they have, like, Day of Judgment, Wrath of God, Supreme Verdict or something. Like a Damnation. Multiple fields. I'm hoping. I am definitely hoping for a Stoneforge on ban. I don't even have any more basics, so I don't need to pay 4 mana. I don't want to hold my breath. Yeah, exactly. There's definitely been some murmurings within the Magic community of Stoneforge on bans. And I am all for it. I would love to be playing Stone Forges. Oh, I shouldn't have 6 if they're going to field me here. Oh, and again, it doesn't matter. I have no basics. So that resolves. Opponent has a negate and an unknown now. Alright, so now we set up lethal. So if I run more basics, yeah. We've consistently been maxing out our basics. Or just like paid for Arbiter and then passed. I guess they were thinking about field eroding me and decided against it. I am holding this Caves to sandbag against this field erode in case I draw like Thought Knot or Displacer. This is lethal. My opponent doesn't have like Snapcaster Mage or something. Opponent has 2 unknowns. We're not gonna play around something. Oh, they do have Snapcaster Mage. That's obnoxious. They just like kill 2 of my guys now. But then I set up lethal again with this Flicker Wisp. Wait, there's Snap Gifts Ungivening? They don't have the mana for that. Okay. Oh, they can trade with the Arbiter. Never mind. Yeah, they have the mana for that. I'm concerned of what they're going to Gifts Ungiven for. Like, do they have a second Elish Norn in the deck? No, right? No, they're just going to Gifts Ungiven for like a bunch of board wipes. They're at 2, there's no point in me playing this Wisp. They're just going to Gifts Ungiven for like 3 Wraths. Or like 2 Wraths plus a Snapcaster Mage for like Snap Path or something. So there's no point in me playing this Wisp. And if they have an Iona, I still have lethal on board. If they, like, have a second Unburial Rites and an Iona or some nonsense. You can choose, like, Wrath, Snapcaster Mage or something like that. God knows what's in the opponent's deck. Opponent tanking on the decision. They might not have, like, 3 Wraths in the main, so maybe, like, Wrath, Snapcaster, Path to Exile, some other card. What variant do I like best given the unban? It's definitely an interesting question. I'm going to have to test out a lot of stuff. Give me a second, I need to figure out what I'm doing here. Lingering Souls in the mix. So my opponent has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. So they could exactly snap Wrath of God. So if I bin Wrath, they get Snap plus the Lingering Souls. They could actually just, like, cast the Lingering Souls twice here with 7 mana. And just Brickwall me pretty hard. And then they would have Snap for Wrath of God. If I bin Snapcaster plus Wrath, they can Wrath plus cast the Lingering Souls. So it's gotta be bin both the Wraths, right? Because then in order to live, they either have to cast Lingering Souls twice or snap Wrath of God. But then I just have to beat 4 Lingering Souls, which is beatable. It's really obnoxious though. It involves me like drawing my Lingering Souls to beat, or top decking Thought Knot Seer to Thought Knot the Lingering Souls out of their hand after they snap Wrath me. So I think it's just bin the 2 Wraths, give them Snapcaster Mage. Technically, if I give them Snap, they could actually just cast Lingering Souls, and then Snap Path. No, they don't have enough mana for that. I think I just bin these 2 Wraths. They could just Snap Path to Exile. Nope, I think they're just going to Snap Wrath. Yep, that makes sense. Now we just really need a top deck Thought-Knot Seer. I don't think casting Flicker Wisp is worth it. It just trades with the soul. Otherwise, I can cast Flicker Wisp at a later date and at least kill a soul with it. So back to the unbanning question. I'm torn because it would give Mono White more tools against aggressive decks with stuff like early Batter Skulls, being able to try and like race humans and Hollow One and stuff. But it also gives Black White a lot more potential to grind. This draw was not good. I think I just have to attack here. See if my opponent triple blocks or quad blocks. Yeah, quad block makes sense. Kill 1. Now we set up lethal if we draw Eldrazi Displacer or another Flicker Wisp. I think I would really like Eldrazi Taxes, because if you get Stoneforge, then you can like just cut all the Arbiters and play like some fetch lands, make the mana a little bit different, make yourself more resilient to stuff like Blood Moon, make your mana more consistent, which is one of the biggest detriments to playing Eldrazi Taxes. You also gain grinding with Stoneforge Mystic for like swords or Batter Skull to try and grind out opponents, which was also kind of a problem. Mono White just grinded out a lot better than you did. Come on, something. So my first inkling to say like Black White would be better, but it's definitely a toss-up because Mono White also suddenly gains these tools against aggro decks, which is kind of their weakness. All right, the opponent's at 1, so I think we just like attack and we're in draw step. Oh, discarding 2 cards, interesting. Well, I guess we don't attack anymore. It also makes our Displacer a lot worse, and our Thought-Knots. So you can I'd probably like stop playing with the cutesy Lingering Souls that I'd be playing. That I'm playing right now, at least. You could easily, like, my list right now would be cut 3 Lingering Souls and 4 Arbiters for like 4 Stoneforge and 3 Equipment. That'd be a good starting point. I don't know exactly how I would tool it past that, but do I even cast this file? Probably. Although Lingering Souls is really good with Equipment. Oh yeah, opponent has negate. No. This makes it so they can't negate my path later, at least, if I draw that. I'm not sure Arbiter is the cut for... Yeah, that's another issue, is that Arbiter is much better in Mono White, I think, because that is, like, your main axis of attack, is that taxes, rather than, at least, the Black White has this, like, hand disruption element in it. Are they gonna bounce this, or, like, Fate Seal me? Fate Sealing me is a little bit dangerous. But I need, like, 2 good cards in a row for me to win now. And if they have a removal spell, then I am just dead. But, yeah, Mono White is so in on that taxes that, like, you have... I think you kind of have to keep some number of Arbiters. But then suddenly it's vying with your Stoneforge Mystics. I would definitely have to do some, like, weird retooling in both lists. So opponent's just like on Esper control with gifts on burial rights. Well, we'll try to lethal them. I imagine they have an answers, because that's why they brainstormed with the Jace. Like, cryptic this. Counter draw, sure. Yeah, exactly. If it comes off the ban list, I'll be playing a ton of Modern, trying to, like, figure out what the best shell is for Stoneforge. Flip Ascanto, we're probably dead now. I'm a little surprised they're not just face sealing me. If they have an answer to like this Flicker Wisp or something, they can just face seal me a bunch and just activate this Ascanta for card advantage. Yeah, counter this one. What is Disallow doing in my opponent's deck? My opponent playing Esper Gifts with Shambling Vent and Disallow. So what 3 equipment? It's weird. I don't know. I'm not even convinced that Sophie's the best sword in Modern. Like, Sophie was a direct result of True Nemesis. Like, Sophie being played in Death and Taxes main boards was because True Nemesis existed. And the protections just aren't nearly as relevant. Yeah, definitely be sideboarding. I'd be sideboarding Manriki easily at the start just because everyone's going to be playing bad Stoneforge decks. So I'm just going to be sideboarding Manriki, playing, like, playing Relic Warders. The issue is that it also makes your Stonies, like, way, way, way worse. Suddenly Stony becomes a much less reasonable sideboard card. So your Affinity matchup hurts. You probably have to just, like, load up on... At least in this deck, you load up on, like, Zealous Persecutions and Arbiters and stuff. Yeah. I like War and Peace a lot against Jeskai, because Pro Path, Pro Bolt. I like Light and Shadow, because it's Pro Push, Pro Path. Yeah, I think you have to cut Stony, but then suddenly your Affinity matchup starts hurting, especially as Mono White. Alright, opponent has 7 cards in hand. Maybe they're all lands, and this attack is a bluff. And we can lethal them. Alright, step 1. Oh yeah, we can play Kataki, that's fair. I could just play like Katakis in this deck. But it's worse against, way worse against stuff like eggs. Alright, let's hope in their 7-card hand they don't have 2 kill spells. Or like a Cryptic Command to tap my guys down. Oh right, they have a Field Rune. That's true. Alright, it's fine. They don't have a removal spell in their 7-card hand. Dang, they had a removal spell in their 7-card hand. Alright, we're done here. Yeah, without GTA it helps a lot, substantially less, but it definitely helps. Batter Skull, being able to gain you a bunch of life very early, especially because they don't play a lot of removal. Alright, what am I boarding in against my opponent? Gonti, Bitter Blossom, Gideon, other Lingering Souls. Oh, Manriki snipes Cranials? That's pretty hot. Is that worth boarding in? Maybe. Opponent did have Lingering Souls in their deck. It's probably better than, like, Strangler. Although we're already cutting, like... Something like that already. Opponent had Lingering Souls and Snapcaster Mages, which might make Zealous worth it over, like... I do want some number of paths to answer their Barrier Rights nonsense. Maybe just cut all the Stranglers. Strangler is just kind of cute. We got to Stone Rain them last game, but it shouldn't matter too much. I'll try it like that. Again, you just have to do like a lot of testing. You have to play more Rest in Pieces because your Stonies are suddenly... You don't have Stonies to like help fight against KCI and stuff. So you need more Rest in Pieces and hate cards against that matchup. This hand's like slow, but fine. Affinity might play Stoneforge. In that case, maybe. Yeah. My Affinity opponent casts Stoneforge Mystic, then we're in. We're in for the Manriki. But then they're also probably playing Manriki. They're probably way better at using it too, because they have creatures they can play on like turn 1. They don't have Summoning Sickness. Arbiter, Scholar. I feel like Arbiter's gonna get pushed here. But I'm not positive. Nah, I think we Scholar. Let's see what they got. They do have a push. Interesting. Push, Logic Knot, and Opt. So my next creature's going to get countered. I'll take the push, though. If they don't play the fetch land... Reflecting Pool? What is my opponent's mana base? Why is there a Reflecting Pool in my opponent's deck? Opponent on, like, Shambling Vent, Reflecting Pool, Drowned Catacombs, Fetch Lands, Field of Ruin. Nonsense. I'm not positive Affinity would play it. Like, if they really want Cranial Plating Tutors, then, like, whatever, Steel Shaper's Gift exists. I mean, obviously I'm not positive they wouldn't, but... I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't. I would expect a lot of Affinity decks would try it out. I'm not 100% convinced that it's, like... if it's correct. So whatever I play here gets Logic Knotted. I guess I just play Arbiter. My opponent's not scared of Arbiter at all. I just Logic Knot this for 2. Ooh, they just let it resolve? They might have, like, push or path here. Path would be kind of a bummer. Okay, no, they just have push into push. If that makes Simeon versus Logic Knot. I've never had that joy, but one can imagine. So they don't have an activator for the push yet. No, they still have Logic Knot up, though. So they just push this, I imagine? And they leave up Logic Knot for, like, 4. I get this Wisp knotted. I can play Arbiter, see if they knot that. And then follow it up with Displacer. Please Logic Knot this opponent. Yes. No. No. Go back. Logic Knot it. Okay, good. Deal. One plays Flooded Terrain, so I still know they have Delta Fielder Run in their hand. Please don't kill this. They could have Cryptic here or something. But I think the upside of being able to protect my creatures using the Displacer is just way too high. Flicker this Plains, I guess. They could, like, Wrath me, but the Wrath only kills one of my guys as well. Because I could Wisp out, or I could displace the Wisp and then Wisp out the Displacer in response to a Wrath. One has 3 unknowns in their hand. It's pretty concerning. Plays Delta. Wrath. Alright, so we blink the Wisp. Wisp blinks out Displacer. So they kill this Wisp for 4 mana. And then we draw Thought-Knot Seer, which is excellent. Oh, I tapped dumb, didn't I? No, I didn't. Oh, my aunt. Wow, if they have Ceremonies, I'm going to be real bummed here. Oh, thank God. Wow, their hand sucks. Now, do I blink in their draw step? The issue is that I'm scared of their instants, right? I guess they can't really, like... They don't have an activator at sorcery speed for, like, snap push. No, they could flash and snap if I drew them into that. But I'm also scared of Wraths and, like, Planeswalkers and stuff. I think I'd... They have mana to just, like, snap Wrath of God me. But I can't beat that. If they have it, they have it. I think blinking's worth it. I guess they're at 7, so maybe this is dumb. But if they have, like, Snapcaster Mage, I can't beat it anyway. Because they just flashed in here. Is this, like, Cryptic? Sure. They, like, draw 2 cards. Then I just get to re-Thought-Knot them. Plays Flooded Strand. I am tapping like an idiot now, right? Because I don't get double blink now. I should have just tapped 2 mana instead of this. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know. I don't have enough mana to double blink anyway. Yeah, I would have only had 5. Alright, so I don't think I blink here. I think the opponent's just dead. God, it's tough. I don't think I'm supposed to blink. My opponent needs to top deck back exactly Snap or another Wrath. Or no, another Wrath is the only thing that this line punishes me for? Yeah, they're dead. Because Snap I can't beat with a blink anyway. So that blink only punishes me if they drew exactly another Wrath, like a Spring Verdict or something. Alright, let's finish this. Hopefully we just draw, like, Aether Vial into Bitter Blossom. Be an excellent start to things. This hand's fine. We have Vial into, like, Vent into Thought-Knot. It's a little weak to, like, their counter spells and stuff, but this hand's definitely always a keep. I guess I should have templed into it in case if we top deck another temple, it's gonna be kind of embarrassing. But there's statistically pretty low chance that happens. Could just jam Displacer here. I think I want to try and bait out their counter spells. I think I'm just going to jam Displacer, honestly. Because I still can just Thought Knot next turn anyway. Just baits their removal. And their counter spells and stuff. If they want to Logic Knot this, sure. We have a bunch of follow-up Thought Knot Seers. Okay, this looks like a Fatal Push then. Yeah. Which is fine, because they could have saved that for a Thought Knot Seer, which I've now worked it through. Again with this Reflecting Pool. Grave Titan. Yep, that's a card in my opponent's deck. We're gonna take this Gifts Ungiven right now. I don't care about the Esper Charm. And then if they Supreme Verdict me, we just, like, it's a 1-for-1, essentially. We can play with another Thought Knot. If they don't Supreme Verdict me, then we cast the second Thought Knot and take it next time. I don't want them to, like, draw land, be able to Gifts Ungiven into, like, Elvish Norn or some nonsense. What's the other mode on this? It's just, yeah, it's only enchantments. If I need to discard cards, it's like Vents plus Path here. Play Field, so I know their whole hand. They're just gonna cast Verdict? Sure. So now we take the Grave Titan, since it actually is getting scary. I mean, I guess I could just Path it. I could also just, next turn, I'll be able to actually just take it. They can't flip this. Yeah, we actually take the Esper Charm here. I could just flicker this Thought Knot, take the Grave Titan next turn. I have a spell cast here. They might, like, Field Run this Temple. Take me off of more colorless. Or they might just, like, have a Fatal Push or something. This fetch might be for a Revolted Push. I think I would have rather activated Field if I was gonna take down the Vents, okay. We'll grab Plains. Do they also have this push to this path? Are they gonna let me untap yet? No, they're also gonna path me. Oh, discard 2 cards. So they drew another Esper Charm? That's fine. We can take their Grave Titan with this. So now we have 2 blinks up. So we let this trigger happen. This search flips. We go to draw step, and then we blink this Thought Knot Seer. So they can't Grave Titan me. Well, that's kind of annoying. Now we have to flicker again. Take the Grave Titan. What's up all the time? Target them. And then she snaps so they can snap Supreme Verdict me now. Ugh. God. Some sick-ass top decks. That's so obnoxious. And they have this Esper trying to, like, reload after this. That's so annoying. I mean, I take the Wrath. Makes them tap out, at least. God. Yeah, no, they just snap Verdict. Now we need to draw, like, Lingering Souls to have a chance. But also accept another Thought Knot. We'll just draw another Aether Vial. We'd be fine. Opponent now has flipped Azcanta and an Esper Charm. We are very, very dead. Hey, you could always take your Stoneforges that you buy, and when they inevitably don't get unbanned, and play Legacy with them. Easy peasy. Sure. Opponent activates Azcanta in response for some reason. Don't think they would counter this. They whiff. Interesting. I think we are pretty dead here. That the top deck Day of Judgment or Wrath of God into the Snapcaster was such an abysmal draw for me. Yep. Opponent. Yeah, opponent's just gonna bury me with this Azcanta now. Put gifts? Okay, we're dead. Opponent gets gifts off their Azcanta. Jeez, these draws have not been kind. Opponent gets to just gift into some win cons now, I suppose. Gift into, like, Teferi, Elish Norn, Jace the Mind Sculptor, Snapcaster Mage, or some garbage. I wonder if there's a chance I could have beaten a Grave Titan. Baneslayer Angel. Yeah, opponent, you can have Lingering Souls and Snap, I guess. I forget if I actually put... Okay, I have Cryptic Command too, so yeah, we're just dead. I forget if I actually put, like, the Zealous Persecution in my deck or not. I think I cut it for game 3, if I recall. Wonder if I actually... So, I don't think I could have beaten the Grave Titan with what I had in play. Because there was the option to take the Wrath first, and then on the second blink try to take the... Although I guess if they were really concerned, they could have just flashed in the Snap, targeted the thing, and let me take the Grave Titan. Do they have 2 Unburial Rites in their deck? Oh no, they hard cast Unburial Rites, and now flashed it back. Take that, opponent. So this is representing a lot more power, I suppose. I should probably just concede since it's midnight and there's literal no way I'm winning. My opponent is at 15 life. Man. I do think the game was like actually over for my opponent if they didn't have the running board wipes. So yeah, I'm never gonna be a Brave Titan because I can't like blink it out because then it just like makes a bunch of zombies and stuff too. Opponent has 2 Cryptics and a Snapcaster in their hand, and that Lingering Soul still seems pretty strong. Take that. We got him good. Oh, with Jude. That's fine. Not great, but we got our money back. Esper gift. Very weird set of games today. Did you see the 2-mana 3/2 zombie? Yeah, didn't I post that in the group chat, Caleb? I was like, oh, zombies got a 2-drop in standard. Getting Stoneforge to be like 100 plus 100 for Sophie. So awesome. Yeah, Stoneforges are super expensive. They're like 20 or something. And then Fire and Ice is like $1 bazillion. I have no idea how much Feast and Famine and Light and Shadow at this point are. I kind of stopped paying attention to card prices after I own the cards. I already have foil, so Fire and Ice, foil, Light and Shadow, and stuff. So zombies thing, yeah, I don't know, man. Zombies, it does definitely have some good support in standard, with like Death Baron and the 2-drop, and Diagraph will come back. But like, is it good enough to be mono red? Probably not. Yeah, man. I got old Judge Foil, Sword of Fire and Ice, Masterpiece, Sword of War and Peace, Masterpiece, Light and Shadow. Oh, I know. I have old Judge Foil, Light and Shadow, I think. I have Masterpiece, Feast and Famine, Body and Mind, and War and Peace, and then old foil, Fire and Ice, and Light and Shadow, I believe. It was a labor of love. I've foiled that deck out quite a while ago. Actually, I guess I only finished it like last year, but I started the adventure several years ago. Anyhow. Playing D&D for Budget Legacy. I mean, that's how a lot of people get into the format or get in on D&D with the budget. Yeah, we calculated out I could probably, like, build non-foil Grixis Delver. The funny thing is, like, foil Grixis Delver isn't that much more expensive than non-foil Grixis Delver, because most of the money is in your, like, $1 billion land mana base. I think I was only, like, 2k under foil Grixis or something. 2 or 3k. Anyhow, we're going to wrap it up here for tonight. It is very late. It is midnight, and I need to go to sleep. So, we played I talked about it, I briefly mentioned, we played a very weird league. It was like Blue-White Miracles, Esper Goryo's Vengeance, Esper Gifts Control, a lot of weird stuff going on, and then we played against humans, and I forget what the last deck was. What else did we play today? Oh, Titan Shift, right at the very beginning. We bodied our opponent. Because I didn't understand how Leonard Arbiter worked. Cool. So, we're going to wrap up the stream here. I'm going to find someone to host and give my whole end of stream spiel and such. Oh god, it's not muted. It's not muted, and there's some really weird, Doctor Who season, whatever, super old seasons. Some really weird voices going on that show. Anyway, is anyone playing the Legacy? Everyone's probably just playing Vintage Cube. That's all like everyone's doing right now. Ooh, Legacy. Oh, it was Romario. Romario Vidal. Jameson Legacy. I'll go host. Go host him. Looks like some Mavericky Nick. I don't know. Looks like a very weird deck going on. I don't even know what this card that he hasn't played does. I can't even like see it. Daybreak Ranger. Deal 2 damage to target creature with flying. Being a VG upkeep if no spells are cast transform. So it's Delver Tech. Weird. But anyway, we're gonna wrap up the stream here. So, very control-heavy league after I almost cut like the Gideon for another Thalia or something. That would have been kind of a bummer because the Gideon was really good against something. We won. Was it against the Miracles that we lost to? I think so. We won game 2 off the back of Gideon. Anyhow, so thank you all for joining me. If you like the content, you want to see more, you want to come hang out, you can hit the follow button. It helps you know when I'm going live. Costs you totally nothing. Helps other people find my content as well. Other ways you can support my channel is with subscriptions or donations. Subscriptions get you a sweet Thalia emote, shown here on the sideboard. Donations, I'd be more than willing to try out your whatever bad, your Death and Taxes decks that you're interested in seeing run through a league. If you want to see certain cards or certain colors or certain formats or whatever. If all the time wants to see that 3/3 Death Toucher played in Eldrazi Taxes, that sort of levels of nonsense. Be more than willing to do it for a monetary fee. Anyhow, no stream tomorrow, likely. The Thursday streams are going to be, like, more often than not, no longer a thing, but sometimes if I have some time, we'll just end up doing a Thursday stream anyway, but probably not since I have to get the house ready for the cat that we're adopting next week. We gotta, like, go and cat-proof the house and stuff, so it's nice to kind of have that day off. Anyhow, we're gonna host Romario Vidal. Cool guy, tunes in the stream on occasion. Playing a very weird deck. I want to say it's Maverick, but it's got a lot of odd cards in it. But I don't see, like, the Nick Fit shell. What the? Colonian? Alright, whatever. We're gonna host him. Have a nice night, y'all. Or day, wherever you are in the world. And I'll catch you guys all on Friday for the long stream.